And we still have much more to cover on Public Affairs on Peach. I'm CBS 46 political reporter Giovanna Derpick. And as we discuss the year in politics, I'm joined by CBS 46 political analyst and talk radio host Dr. Rashad Ritchie and Emory University Associate Political Science Professor Dr. Andra Gillespie. Okay, Andra, let's start with you. You teach classes on race and politics. I imagine that you've had a lot to share this year. What would you say was the biggest takeaway?
President Trump has made a lot of missteps with respect to race. He's been doing it since the start of his campaign. So he starts off by maligning Mexicans. He made comments about African Americans, telling them that black communities were horrible and what you have to lose by voting for them. He aligned himself with white nationalists. And he's basically kept that trajectory going into his campaign. So whether we're talking about him mishandling Charlottesville or whether we talk about him getting the optics wrong of talking to Navajo code whisperers under a picture of Andrew Jackson, which, you know, is just patently offensive to lots of Native Americans. This administration has made a lot of mistakes with respect to race and has been largely unrepentant about the mistakes that they've made, which I think is actually worse.
Unrepentant, but the supporters seem to like how he speaks in a very plain tone. Rashad, what do you have to say about that?
Donald Trump was not elected as a Republican. He was not elected as a moderate. He really wasn't even elected as a legitimate political figure. He was elected as a political disruptor. And so people that voted for him wanted him to disrupt politics as usual. So for those who voted for him for that reason, he's fulfilling their purpose. However, that comes with a price. This guy has been able to offend women in general, Native Americans, Hispanics, African Americans, and the list goes on.
But some may say that he's delivered on what he promised to his base of supporters, and he stayed consistent and loyal.
To some degree, right? Because when you look at what he's actually accomplished legislatively, that's been zero. He has no legislative accomplishment. Now, what he has been able to do, he's created a divide in the United States of America. And there is no secret that Bannon and all of the guys that rode with Trump during that campaign, they were all for race identity politics. He's been able to turn the temperature up and almost make it politically normal to identify politics with race alone.
Can we go back from that, or is this the direction that our politics is headed and that's just the trajectory?
Race has always been at the subtext of American politics. I think a lot of people kind of forgot that, especially when Barack Obama got elected president, but it was always there. I mean, it's written into the founding. And so this is something that we have yet to fully deal with. I think the issue with President Trump was that, you know, whether or not he's personally racist, and it's sometimes hard for me not to see that given the behavior of the past couple of years. One of the things that's actually really interesting was that he knew that this was a market that he could tap into to expand his base. And so he made a deal. And oftentimes he's not leading them, he's following them. I mean, if we look at part of the reason why I think he endorsed Roy Moore was that he still saw that there was a chance to win. That doesn't seem like moral leadership. And so he's ceded moral leadership on race.
Chance to win, midterm elections. What do you think is going to happen there? Because it's a tight majority, 51-49 now.
Sure. Republicans are going to get slaughtered in the midterm elections, point blank. And they have enough ammunition. I'm talking about the other side, Democrats, progressives. They have enough ammunition to overtake not only the Senate, but they are going to make some strong strides in the House.
But we've heard this before. 6th district race, a lot of people thought the Democrat was going to win. That didn't happen. A couple of other races, same thing.
What Democrats would need to do is to take lessons from this year, look at all the infrastructure that they've put together, and actually continue to deploy that in 2018 in order to be successful.
In our final seconds in this particular segment, biggest race to watch?
I think people are going to look at Arizona and Nevada in terms of Senate races.
Rashad?
Honestly, the re-election of Doug Jones. People think that because he won in Alabama, the Senate race, he has a tough re-election battle. So we'll see what happens with that.
Okay, sounds very good. And you'll want to stay with us. We'll look into the political future when Public Affairs on Peach returns.